Hello, I'm still not Corey, and I'm also still real mad about groomer memes. So obviously I'm going to be reacting to groomer memes in this video, but before I get into that, go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's what lets me make these videos for you, so if you enjoy them, have a little look-see, please. That'd be nice. Or you could check out my merch. We've got stupid baby t-shirts and a whole bunch of gay stuff if that's your thing, so check that out too. Okay, let's start the video. Wait, let's not start the video. I've got a question for you. Are you LGBT? And if so, which flavor of LGBT are you? Answer it down in the comments. Okay, let's start the video. Groomer meme number 1. If your parents aren't accepting of your identity, I'm your mom now. Drink some water, take your meds, make sure you eat, I love you. Okay, groomer. See, I really hate okay, groomer as a response because there's not much you can say to it. And I don't mean like it trounces you because they're so right. It's just so incredibly nonsensical and out of left field that like, you have to do a whole essay of explanation of like why this is wrong. There are so many different ways that you could tackle why this is wrong, so many different places to start, so much wrong with okay, groomer being a response to that meme. It's just, you just can't respond. There is too much to cover. Obviously, this whole groomer stuff is just people wanting to discredit LGBT people. That is their only goal. And so that is why they respond to things that are actually totally fine. That meme is saying, hey, if your family does not accept you, if you do not have parents that are loving and caring, and you don't have anyone looking out for you, I will look out for you. You don't need to feel alone. You have someone that is there to help you out. If someone's parents are mistreating them on the basis of them being LGBT, you can't call someone a groomer for just saying, hey, you are loved. Like, that's not what grooming is. These people do not care about the well-being of children. They do not care about it at all. As evidenced by this. This is a situation where a hypothetical child has a poor home environment and someone is saying, hey, I'll look out for you. And they're calling them a groomer just because this whole thing is about being queer. That is the only reason. Again, they don't care about the well-being of children. Not one bit. And it kind of touches on another interesting aspect of this whole groomer thing, wherein parents are the be-all and end-all of children's protection, right? Like, the parents know best. In this LGBT people or groomers view, almost necessarily you have to look at it as though a parent can't abuse, mistreat, or even groom a child, because any LGBT adult that interacts with kids for any reason is deemed a groomer. That is what they do. And they put parents above all else. With this view, if the parents don't want the kids learning about LGBT stuff, then the kid does not learn about LGBT stuff. If the parents don't want to affirm a kid's trans identity, then the kid's trans identity should not be affirmed. That's why they get up in arms about teachers protecting kids from dangerous home lives, because they do not care about children's well-being. All they care about is children not being gay or not being exposed to LGBT people in general. In this one, Owen Jones is tweeting about an article whose headline reads, "Girl driven out of school for questioning trans ideology." And Owen Jones has said, I need your help. This story, claiming 60 girls drove a girl out of school for questioning trans ideology, doesn't include their side of the story or even name the school. I want to speak anonymously to these girls for their story, so please retweet. And James Lindsay, who you'll know if you watched the last video I made on this topic, James Lindsay said, groomer journalist wants to bypass the parents. That is not what's happened, and it is so incredibly clear, but James Lindsay does not care. Owen Jones is a gay man. That's why James Lindsay is targeting him. But Owen Jones is also a journalist, so it's perfectly fine for him to say, hey, these people involved in this news story, I'd like to contact you for journalistic purposes. I'd like to interview to hear your side of the story. That is by no means inappropriate, and he did not say that he wanted to bypass the parents. That's not said in that tweet, but James Lindsay has gone ahead and said that because he wants to paint him as a groomer. I don't really think that Owen Jones is a groomer. I'm gonna be perfectly f***ing honest, I really doubt that Owen Jones is a bloody groomer. And even if he was a groomer, I doubt he'd be f***ing stupid enough to tweet openly about it like that. And again, he is f***ing gay. So even if he was a groomer, why the f*** would he be grooming young girls? None of this makes any sense. I shouldn't even be entertaining this idea by debunking it on so many levels, because really, all I need to say is, this is f***ing stupid and just outright homophobic and transphobic. Again, for these people, any LGBT adult that interacts with children is automatically deemed a groomer. And to add to that, any adult that interacts with children via the context of transness is also deemed a groomer. So, just to recap, you're a groomer if you're LGBT and interact with children for any reason, regardless of whether it's appropriate or not. And you're also a groomer if you're just an adult and you interact with children on the basis of something to do with transgenderness. If you interact with a kid and you talk about being transgender, or you talk to a trans kid, or anything like that, you're a bloody groomer, I'm afraid. Sorry, I don't make the rules, these bat-crazy conservatives do. That face you make when you spent 4 years getting a teaching degree, and now they won't let you groom the kids. Haha, very funny. This one is just so basic. Again, we come back to the idea that teachers are grooming kids by talking about LGBT stuff, or by saying that they themselves are LGBT, or by affirming a kid who is LGBT. Do you see what's going on here? It's not about grooming. None of this falls under the definition of grooming. Whatsoever. Not at all. They just do not like LGBT people. That is plainly obvious. But another interesting thing is that it's perfectly fine to groom kids into Christianity or any religion that you want. Because if you think about it, that's what the parents that are so incredibly against trans people and LGBT people in general tend to be, right? That's what they tend to be. They tend to be Christian and they're teaching their kids good Christian values. But is that not indoctrination? Is that not more grooming than saying to a kid, hey, you can be gay if you're gay, like that's fine, go ahead and be gay? It's not like kids spring out of the womb being automatically Christian. No, you have to drill Christianity into their heads. You have to tell them that they're going to go to hell if they do something wrong. You have to indoctrinate a child into religion. You don't have to indoctrinate a child into being queer, or into being trans, or to being gay, or any of those things. Those are all just naturally occurring. Those happen. You could take a kid and raise them in whatever environment that you want, but if that kid is gay, they're probably going to be gay regardless of whether you teach them what being gay is. That's just another reason that this whole hiding LGBT-ness from kids is so asinine. You can hide it all you want, but that is not going to stop your kid from being gay. It's just going to make your kid resent you when they realize they're gay and realize that their parent despises who they are. You can't hide gayness from kids to stop your kids from being gay. You just gotta accept it. You gotta accept that some people in the world aren't straight, that some people in the world are trans, and get the f over it. You are the problem. If you want LGBT people to hide, no. You hide. You off somewhere else and let everyone else live their comfortable, happy lives whilst you sit in a cave and stew and like fume over the fact that trans people are going into the toilets and pissing there. Seriously, you're insane if you have an issue with this. You're actually insane if you want to call LGBT people groomers just for existing, just for teaching, just for mentioning to kids, hey, it's all right to be LGBT, that's fine. You're good. Seriously, if you have an issue with teachers saying to kids it's okay to be LGBT, it's okay to be gay or trans or whatever, you should also have just as big an issue with people teaching kids any bloody religion. You really, really should. Because if you're against grooming kids, that's what religion does. That's what they do. What about all the priests that were touching up the young boys? Do you have an issue with that? No, you don't, because you don't care about the well-being of children. You just hate gay people. And that's okay. We can help you. Just admit that you hate gay people and get it over with. Your hatred of LGBT people is not the fault of LGBT people. What you're trying to do by calling LGBT people groomers is twist reality to be what you want it to be. You have no reason to hate LGBT people. As a whole, LGBT people are not inherently harmful. So, what do you do if you hate this group, but they're not doing anything wrong and you don't want to internally reflect to stop yourself from hating them? You project it outwards. You twist reality to be what you want it to be so that they actually are doing something wrong now and you're justified in hating them. That is what's going on. People who are incapable of internal self-reflection, who are incapable of interrogating their own beliefs and ideals and thinking, hey, wait, why do I hate these people? Is it maybe something wrong with me? They can't do that. So what they do is they say, actually, there is something wrong with these people. There's nothing wrong with me. It's these people. That's why I hate them. I don't know, they're grooming kids. You have to change the definition of grooming. You have to stop caring about the well-being of children because, let's be honest, if you're going to call all LGBT people groomers, if you're going to say that telling kids it's okay to be gay is automatically grooming, you are going to put children in dangerous positions. So you got to stop caring about the well-being of children. You got to change everything just so you can feel justified in hating LGBT people. There's something wrong with you if that's you. If you're sitting watching this and you're typing, okay, groomer in the comments, or you're writing a whole reply about why I'm wrong, stop for a second, internally reflect and think. Are you getting all of this LGBT groomer stuff from libs of TikTok? Is that where you're getting it? Really consider that. That's not a really good source, is it? Kind of cherry-picked, very twisted. Telling a kid, I'm trans, that's not grooming. That's not grooming the kids. Saying to kids, hey, you can be LGBT, and that's okay. That is not grooming. Because being LGBT isn't inherently sexual, being gay isn't inherently sexual, being trans isn't inherently sexual, and none of these things are inherently harmful for children to grow up to be, or for children to be themselves, because, newsflash, kids can be trans, kids can be gay, kids can be any flavor of LGBT. I don't know what else to say here. This whole groomer thing is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Just insane. Last one. You can't call us groomers. You've called me Nazi for 6 years. I'm gonna be honest, the person that's made this probably is a little bit Nazi. If they're alt-right, that's pushing towards Nazi, right? That's neo-Nazi territory. It's not quite the same as calling someone a groomer just for being LGBT. What is going on here with this meme? Either you're saying, I'm not a Nazi and I know that you're not a groomer, but I'm just gonna call you that just to disparage you. So you're admitting that you're just doing it because you hate LGBT people. Good to know. Either that or you are a Nazi, and you're saying you are a groomer. Those are the only two things that the meme can be saying. And I know, it's just a meme, but there is meaning behind the memes, okay? There is something behind it. There's a person behind that has made it, that has an ideology, that wants to make a joke based on a certain topic, that wants to say something. You can't just write this off as a silly meme because there is meaning behind the memes, I'm afraid. And let's put it this way, right? Throwing around the word Nazi when it's not accurate is not quite the same as what's going on here. It's not. I think it's far more understandable to liken someone who is far right to a Nazi because that's the end of the political spectrum that they lie on. That's who they align themselves with. If you're alt-right, it's fine for people to call you a Nazi. If you're far right and aligning yourself with Nazis, you gotta expect for people to call you Nazis. On the other hand, calling LGBT people groomers is entirely baseless. So the LGBT people are aligning themselves with groomers. They're not doing any grooming themselves as an entire group. You just want to call them groomers because you want to villainize them. You want to criminalize them. You want to discredit them and disparage them. You want to make LGBT people not exist. Regardless of what they think, regardless of what their ideology is, you want LGBT people to stop existing. And if you can't get that, you want them to shut up and act like they don't exist. That's what you want. That's what these people want. And that's why they do this. To make the world so hostile to LGBT people that it's easier to completely hide yourself away, to stay in the closet for your entire life than to come out. Because coming out means harassment, oppression, degradation, all of these things. It means all of those things. And so it's much, much easier to avoid that by pretending you're not LGBT at all. That's what they want. That's what they're trying to do. That's why this groomer thing is absolutely insane, and we need to talk about how terrible it is. Well, let's end that video there. I've got a few more groomer memes. If you want me to make another video, let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to also let me know what flavor of LGBT you are. You see some people going past here? See these names? Those are my patrons. If you want to join my Patreon, you can absolutely do that. You get a whole bunch of cool stuff. You get early videos and bonus videos and other things. You could also get your name shouted out at the end of one of these videos, like these lovely people I'm about to shout out right now. So thank you to Mole, thank you to Christopher A. Butler, thank you to Ataraxia25, thank you to Maxwell17, thank you to Donito, and thank you to Brad the Music Duck. I think that is all from me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.